Well, to those of you who are at home, there is certainly an air of Christmas cheer here on today. So sit back and stay tuned for today's activities. Good afternoon and welcome back to the Hamlet Christmas Parade, sponsored by the Hamlet Rotary Club. I'm Lisa Mormon, along with David Adami, a Rotary Club member. David, tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
Well, the Hamlet Police Department always leads the parade for us, and I think we have some local dignitaries following the Hamlet Police Department. I'm not sure yet who's in that car. The third group in the parade looks like the Junior ROTC Color Guard from Richmond Senior High School. We're always quite pleased to have them. Actually, the second car looks like Chief Eddie Martin and some of the dignitaries from, no, it's the Hamlet Mayor and Council. Excuse me, I'll be run out of town. But here we have on the screen now the Junior ROTC Color Guard. We appreciate them being here, of course.
Oh, and such beautiful colors.
Tremendous opportunity for young people. A lot of college scholarships available through the ROTC program. Probably right behind them, we'll see the Marching Corps of Cadets. But there's good participation at the high school. Good participation in Junior ROTC.
It's a very healthy group. It looks like everyone is in attendance.
The Corps of Cadets is followed by our parade marshal this year, Dr. R.B. Garrison, and his daughter Carolyn Garrison Duckett, who's from Greenville, South Carolina, has driven up here today to ride with her father in the parade. Dr. Garrison has been extremely active in Hamlet and Richmond County for probably 50 or more years. There's Carolyn Duckett. Her husband is a faculty member at East Carolina University Med School, and Dr. Garrison. The car was being driven by a faculty member at RCC, Warner Shoe. This looks like a representative from the Richmond County Sheriff's Department. Somebody's making a lot of noise out there. We can hear the siren in the background.
And there's a thumbs up there.
Well, that looks like a very small deputy sheriff there, but she's riding with one of the sheriff's department vehicles. This is one of their mobile criminal investigation vehicles. Looks like April Haddon behind the wheel. That's probably her daughter. Well, we've got some visitors now from the town of Rockingham. We've got Mayor G.R. Kindley. He's being driven by probably Chief Ed Martin. Yeah, that's Chief Martin from the Rockingham Police Department. As we said earlier, Lisa, the parade is being sponsored by the Hamlet Rotary Club. Here we have Rotary District 7680 District Governor Jim Stump and his wife Patsy. They've come from the Charlotte area to be with us today.
Visitors all the way from Charlotte.
Indeed. This next float is the Hamlet Rotary Club float. We have a couple of our lovely lady Rotarians, along with a group of children from Monroe Avenue School. The Hamlet Rotary Club participates every year in a project working with 5th and 6th graders at Monroe Avenue. Now, who is this pretty lady?
Looks like...
Can't quite see her sign. This may be Miss North Carolina.
Oh, coming all the way down to Hamlet to enjoy the festivities.
Miss North Carolina, and also this type of float. This is one of our commercial floats, sponsored by United Carolina Bank, Branch Banking and Trust, First Bank, probably some of the, that may be the symphonic band from Hamlet Junior High, I would suspect so. Wish we could hear that music from where we're sitting.
I can tell the crowd is enjoying it.
Well, here comes an entry from the Richmond County Rescue Squad. These folks do a tremendous job keeping the highways and medical emergencies under control in Richmond County. This is the, I believe this is the first prize-winning float, Hamlet First United Methodist. They will receive a plaque, having been judged as the best float in the parade. Bennett Dean with the Rockingham Chamber of Commerce will be presenting the plaques as they come by. The Chamber of Commerce asked us to be sure and mention that there goes Bennett now, presenting that first place award. There, a little bit of excitement there. Bennett asked us to remember that during the holidays there is a Shop Richmond County First project that's being undertaken by the local Chamber of Commerce. The idea is to do as much business as possible with the merchants of Richmond County. You'll see special signs when you shop. There'll be an opportunity to register for some prizes. So we just encourage you to give your hometown merchants a good look here as we begin our Christmas shopping.
Oh, and there's Connie's Indoor Flea Market showing Christmas giving.
Yeah, I see a few scouts on the back of Connie's float. Connie's has a very interesting facility between Hamlet and Rockingham. If you're interested in looking at some previously owned furniture, she's got a tremendous selection.
And there's Outreach for Jesus, if I'm not mistaken. They're one of the prize winners also.
Right, I believe they were judged as the second best float. I'm sure that Bennett will step out in just a moment and present them with their plaque. The Rotary Club just simply wanted to do a little something to reward the special efforts of some of the folks who enter our parade. There goes Bennett. See Mr. Robert Singletary all dressed up in a biblical costume.
A lot of excitement here today.
Surely is. When you hear the kind of noise we're hearing right now, you know there's a fire truck coming around. And I see the entry from the Cordova Fire Department. Got a lot of young people riding on the back. I can remember wanting to ride on a fire truck when I was that age. This is the, I think, the community mentor group coming up behind the fire truck. This group is very active in Richmond County, trying to be certain that young people get good examples and good role models in terms of dealing with some of the stress that young people face in their lives today. Here's another commercial float. This group looks like they might be a dance troupe of some kind. I see a lot of candy that's been tossed into the streets. I know the young people along curbside appreciate that.
A lot of pretty colors there.
Oh,
a lot
really
of red and green and Christmas.
Well, I do want to say, Lisa, that the Hamlet Rotary Club truly appreciates Time Warner and yourself and others involved in this production. It gives us a lot of good exposure, and we do appreciate it.
Well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
There's our future, those young faces. We've got to do everything we can to make sure they have all the advantages. This float is sponsored by Seaboard Station Restaurant, and this is the Sensation Dance Studio Group. There's a couple of pretty ladies.
Pretty and excited.
Can't help but notice.
Miss Alpha Mu Chapter looks pretty happy there, smiles.
Yeah, she's has won some type of local beauty contest. It's amazing what a pickup truck and a little bit of work can produce. Parade ready, and here we go.
Oh, and there's a cutie.
Oh, yes. She looks like she's wondering what's going on there. Here's some seniors riding along.
Join in with the youngs, with the young people.
This is a crowd that participates in the state senior games every year. Here comes folks from the East Rockingham Fire Department. I see that it's got Fat Boys junior football cheerleaders on top, I think. It looks like a Tin Man on the back. Do you see him?
Oh, I see him.
just about to come into view. Well, cameraman fooled me, I think. Volunteer fire departments do a sensational job in Richmond County, and I think we all depend on them, although we probably don't think about them that much. If there's an emergency, they really do the job. This looks like must be the Marching Raiders from Richmond Senior High School.
Moving with a lot of pizzazz as usual.
Oh, yes. Making some racket as they come by our cameras. I recognize at least one of the drum majors. That's Clint McCaskill from Rockingham. Always have to have the equipment truck if you're going to operate a decent band. I guess the kids are excited they won't have to tote those heavy instruments back around again.
Oh.
Well, looky here. This is one of the Time Warner trucks advertising cable channel 22, Sports South.
Getting involved in the activities.
Yeah, there's apparently the Hornets logo on the side. We appreciate it, Time Warner. Now here's a lovely young lady.
There's another beauty queen.
I think she may have been the homecoming queen or something of that nature at the high school this year. This looks like a truck from the Rockingham Fire Department. Is that Sparky the fire dog on the back waving to the crowd?
I believe it is.
That's Wee Miss Richmond County.
And what a beauty she is.
Her name is Kelsey. Couldn't see her last name. She looks like she's having a good time this afternoon.
And
I'm not sure who this group is. I don't see a sign of any type. Looks like there's a future Michael Jordan going up the double line there. This is the physical awareness group, gymnastics and dance group. Terry Barrett operates down on Hamlet Avenue, and her group's always ready to participate, and I'm sure they'll stop and give us a little demonstration as they get near the camera stand. See some gymnastics activity in the background. I'm sure we'll get a clearer picture as they get a little closer. I believe Ms. Barrett works with adults as well as younger children. Does aerobics and physical fitness type things. They're being led by a vintage Mustang.
it's nice.
You're not old enough to remember those 67s and 68s, are you, Lisa?
No, not really.
Well, I hate to admit, I was right there when they came off the assembly line for the first time. I remember them well.
There's a little more gymnastics there.
Yes, they seem to be waiting for some type of guidance. What does the sweatshirt say? Dare to what?
It's really hard to see. So there's everyone getting involved there. They're still looking for that guidance, though, I believe.
You know, I suspect that many of our cheerleaders get their start learning these gymnastic routines. We'll see some of these young ladies on the sidelines at Raider football games within the next few years, I'm sure. Seems to be a fairly wide age group there. Some of those children can't be more than 2 or 3 years old.
And they're doing very well.
They really are. There was a nice view of the Steeples restaurant across the street. I don't know how many of our viewers remember, but for probably 60 years, the Steeples site was the home of St. James Catholic Church, which has since moved to its location on Highway 74 right near our community college. We were real happy to see that Debbie Robertson has continued to use this facility and has what seems to be a thriving business going at Steeples, catering and providing dinner and lunch, things of this type.
That's something I've
The physical awareness group is slowly making its way by. There must be at least 100, 125 participants today. I bet those little legs will be tired when they reach Hamlet Avenue. What do you think?
Yeah, they will be tired. Most definitely. There's some more in the truck there. A lot of the real small ones there in the truck.
Well, they seem to have figured out what you're supposed to do at a parade, though. Here comes another dancing group, Renee's Dance Academy.
We also have here with us David Corey Wilson. He's also with Time Warner Cable.
Good to be here, Lisa and David.
It's good to see you, Corey.
Oh, yes.
Looks pretty colorful, doesn't it, Corey?
Say what, Lisa?
Looks pretty colorful there, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. Wonderful colors, bright colors. One thing about the floats here, these people did spend a lot of time on the floats decorating, and that's what gets the awards.
Yeah, this float was sponsored by the City of Rockingham and Renee's Studio of Dance, I think, or Academy of Dance.
Right.
This is actually one of our commercial floats.
Oh, there's a little bit of activity there.
Yeah, this is some of Renee's students, I'm sure, doing some contemporary. It looks like the Macarena there, don't you think?
Oh, boy.
One of the well-known dances. Got some people on the sidewalks joining in with them, the Macarena there.
Everybody's doing the Macarena.
Oh, yeah.
There's another little beauty.
That's Tiny Miss Richmond County.
Tiny Miss Richmond County.
That's Tiffany, and I can't quite make out the last name. But she's a beautiful thing, isn't she?
She's pretty.
Lovely flowers and a good-looking dress.
And there's the DARE police officers. The DARE officers go around from the schools in Richmond County teaching the kids about drug abuse and resistance and all that stuff.
I think the Hamlet Police, the Rockingham Police, and the Sheriff's Departments all have designated officers who carry out these programs, and they do a tremendous job.
Tremendous job.
And there's the Hamlet Housing Community Choir.
I was hoping they'd stop and sing a little bit for us.
That's what I'm expecting.
This is the van from dialysis care here in the area. Do a lot of work with folks that have kidney problems.
In-home dialysis care. I think they go around and help out with the people with the dialysis in their home. Do a real good job of that.
This was Kim Lindsay, Miss GGLH. Corey, what do you think that stands for?
I do not know. That's what I was fixing to ask you.
I was hoping you were going to provide a little technical expertise.
There's the Gospel Lighthouse Church, one of the churches in my denomination, Church of God in Christ. The pastor there is Elder White, Reginald White, has a van out there.
This float, I think, was sponsored by Richmond County.
Right. Another colorful float, David. I tell you what, that's what gets the awards. The way they decorate these things, all the colors, and all the kids that get on top, top of these floats and to participate. This is the Family for Kids.
Well, I tell you, the reason that that we do this parade every year is primarily for those children. They
Right.
seem to generate all the excitement.
And there's
And
the
here are the Hot Steppers.
Yeah, that's a part of my sister's group. She works with the Rockingham Housing Authority. Jerry Mormon, she's a assistant director there, and she helped organize this little group here.
Right.
Does this
Jerry
particular routine have a name, or is it just sort of freestyle?
Well, it's pretty much freestyle. The kids there, they make up their own routines, and I think they get a lot of their ideas from some of the colleges and universities. They go to the various step shows and different things like that. The director of this program is Mr. Lee Lynch, along with Jerry. They should be coming up pretty soon. I don't think we had a shot of them, but I got a shot of them.
Let's see if I can see who this is. Let's see their stop. I think the Hot Steppers are doing a routine here in front of the cameras.
Oh,
Fixing to do a, Lisa, one thing I think about, about this Hot Stepper group, it keeps the kids off the streets. It gives them an opportunity to get involved with the community as far as this and get together.
right. It's a real great program. I believe they've been stepping now for about 2 years, I believe. They're in different programs all over the county, and they're pretty involved. It's a good program.
This group activity is important because I grew up in this town, and I can assure you that there are temptations on the street today that are very different from what I knew when I grew up.
Right.
This is Martina Rush, Miss Junior Preteen in the Charlotte area.
So we've got some folks coming down from the Charlotte area.
This is Miss Richmond County, Angela McLean, is it? She's certainly a lovely young lady.
I think that's Angela McLean. Had an opportunity to go see her in Miss Richmond County practice. She did a wonderful job, and I'm pleased to have her serve in Richmond County.
Is she a college student, or is she a student at Richmond Senior?
I think she's a college student, if I'm not mistaken.
That was just the record from Richmond Towing and Recovery, and this is an ATAC from Rockingham Towing and Recovery.
Got the Cub Scouts on there.
Yeah, those vehicles lend themselves to parades. They can carry quite a few young people.
As you can see there.
That's pack 297, I believe.
Now look at this bright and colorful record.
What do you call that? Chartreuse? Color of pink? Certainly a striking vehicle.
Right.
Somebody really has gone to quite a bit of effort to get it as sharp and as shiny as it is today. Well, this is a drill team from Samarkand Manor up in Moore County. They usually are a favorite with the crowd. They do a lot of marching and stepping routines also. They've been with us here in the parade for probably close to 20 years now. We appreciate them coming that 50 or 60 miles that they have to come each year.
I really like the red and black. That's real pretty. It's real pretty.
Kind of gets you to think about the Christmas holidays, the red and black. And that's what this parade is, Christmas. The Christmas parade.
They're doing a little routine that's similar to the type of routine that the steppers do.
Right.
This looks like, is that Ryan Norton?
Yes, that's Ryan Norton.
She's Miss Richmond County, but I could not see the rest. Ryan is a former next-door neighbor. Her brother Jason was an outstanding place kicker for the Raiders a few years ago. Ryan's quite an athlete herself.
Ryan is the Indian Princess.
That's right.
For the North Carolina.
You know you're getting old. I coached her daddy in Little League. He was a very good center fielder. He's now a policeman at Hamlet. Well, we have an Indian theme here, it looks like.
I think that's Ryan's fellow friend.
Is that possibly a Native American group? Or
I think that's the Native American group from the Richmond County schools. I see the advisor there with them. Another float, a trailer with the, let's see, it looks like a teepee, a lot of kids.
Well, as a child, if I ever had an opportunity to ride in the Christmas parade, it was always a very big moment for me. And I'm sure these young people are getting excited. There's Smokey the Bear.
Smokey the Bear.
Smokey T. Bear.
Now, I'm very sure the kids on the sidewalks are loving Smokey the Bear right now.
He's in every parade, I tell
And the
you.
National Forestry Service Jeep there with the lights going.
Looks like Sam Niemeyer behind the wheel. That's Sparky Jr. there, I guess, with the Hamlet Fire and
Hamlet
Rescue.
Fire Department. If I'm not mistaken, that is the Hamlet Fire Department's new truck that they had just purchased not too long ago.
It looks like Mr. Bill Horn, member of the Hamlet City Council and pharmacist here in Hamlet, riding shotgun there.
Engine number 6.
We got a good close-up. Bill, how you doing? I'm sure his dad will be pleased to see him.
And this is a real necessity to the Hamlet Fire Department, the ladder truck.
In my entire life, I've never been allowed to ride on a fire truck. I'm feeling envious again today.
Oh, yes.
I'll tell you, the Hamlet Fire Department is very well respected.
Right.
They've been very important players in a number of fire and other types of emergencies. It's Troop 469. You would be surprised at how much time every year the members of these various rescue units have to spend in school keeping themselves qualified to do these emergency procedures. We're real pleased to be able to work with them at Richmond Community College. Here's another hot group from the college, the Human Services Club. All of these students are pursuing a 2-year associate degree in Human Services Technology. They hope to be employed in various helping fields such as social services, welfare and mental health.
Nice limousine there, David.
It really is.
Yes, it is.
I can't remember about purchasing that last year.
Junior Miss Richmond County. I don't think I got her name, though.
Amy Denson, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that's Amy Denson. Junior Miss Richmond County.
Junior Miss.
Is that a Mercedes?
I think so, David. That looks like a Mercedes.
You young people always know your cars. Here's another commercial float. This is sponsored by the Hamlet Hospital, and I'm sure that these young people are probably children of the employees of Hamlet Hospital. I know those of us who live in Hamlet are very pleased that the Hamlet Hospital continues to grow and prosper, and we look forward to a new location on Highway 74 in the near future.
That's right. You know, the plan for that hospital looks great, David. You know, they've had them circulating around the Daily Journal, and they look great.
This is Nikki Goodwin, who is Miss Teenager 1996. She's certainly an attractive young woman. Well, things like hospitals and new industries and new schools are an indication of progress within a community. And
that's right.
Richmond County is sort of off the beaten path, and we need all the progress we can get. This is Nikki Wilson. I think she's a varsity cheerleader out at Richmond Senior.
Yes, that's my sister there, Nikki Wilson.
Is that your sister?
That's my sister.
Nice dress.
Well, you ought to. This is an opportunity to publicly say something nice about her, so I hope you'll do it.
Oh yeah, she's been good with the Richmond County pageant. She won last year, and she's served her position well.
This is Brownie Troop 731, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. Got the van from Atlas Food Systems and Services. They've been taking care of the vending machines and things at Richmond Community College for the last year or so.
Here comes the Rohannon Rebels float. I think this is the cheerleading squad.
Rohannon Junior High School. That float is sponsored by Bobby Singletary, who is an accountant here in town, and also sponsored by Hamlet Chiropractic Clinic. Certainly a medical sponsorship there. Well, here's another pretty face, Corey. Who's that?
Can't tell who that is.
Just another beauty.
Now, when I was your age, I knew the names of all the pretty girls.
Whitney, I got the first name, but I didn't get the last. Richmond Youth Football.
That's the youth football championship team. They won a playoff game about 2 weeks ago.
And look what's coming up here. Chopper Joe. That is a very unique float right there. Very unique float.
Never ridden in one of those either.
Maybe I can go out there and hop on it and say that I rode in the chopper for the Hamlet Parade.
And Corey, if you'd been part of my generation, we would have taken you to Vietnam and would have given you an opportunity to do just that.
We got another award coming.
Oh, this is our, must be our third place winner. Is that Aunt Vicky's daycare, maybe? That's Arlo's Wrecker from Arlo's service station here in Hamlet.
a nice float. All the white snow there represent the Christmas holidays. I hope we get snow this year, David. And
we're due. You probably barely remember. 1987 was the last time that we had a significant interruption of business and schools and so forth here.
I think that's when the freeze, it froze over and everything got real messy.
Holy Deliverance Church.
That was a junior miss. This is Erin Griffiths, another beauty queen coming up. Looks like she's in that 5.0 Mustang.
There's her mom sitting there riding in the passenger seat.
That must be Kathy. Little Miss Tar Heel, Erin Griffiths. I think there have been a couple of beauty queens in that family, as I remember. Looks like one driving. Nice looking vehicle.
There's another beauty.
Yeah, Cassidy
Carr, I think so.
Little Mazda Miata, isn't it?
Got another Mustang coming up here. Can't quite see who that is.
I'm sure the folks from Champion Ford appreciate seeing all these Mustangs.
Oh, yes.
They're a big favorite among your age group, aren't they, Corey?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the City of Hamlet's float. Probably have some folks from the senior center down by the lake.
And there's the Centennial people riding atop the float there. There's Miss Centennial.
Right, Hamlet will be celebrating its 100th anniversary sometime this spring. A lot of activities planned. Miss Norva Jernigan here at the Hamlet Public Library is, I think, the overall chairman of that activity.
Now, David, I think you can tell me what kind of car this is.
That's a Chevrolet Caprice Classic convertible. I think it's probably something in the 70s.
Yes.
Well, there's my good friend Jimmy Smith. Jimmy was our parade marshal last year. He's been on WAYN for about 40 years. Always enjoy talking with Jimmy. He does a great job for WAYN in Richmond County.
There's G104.
G104 FM. We appreciate Cheryl and JJ Jackson for all the good work they do at G104, and this is their limousine. Talk about a stretch.
Yes.
I worked there one summer and I just enjoyed it.
You know, David, I'm employed there at G104 now, and I've had the chance to ride in the limousine. I rode in the limousine, the Wadesboro Parade, and had fun in that. Nice limousine. That's Sandhills Place-to-Place limousine.
We have a great environment at that radio station. I worked there one summer before graduate school.
Look at that redhead. He's having a big time. These short bed pickup trucks are rather popular too, aren't they?
Oh, yes.
This is Priscilla's Personal Touch Beauty Salon sponsoring this float. Probably some of the employees, their children, maybe a few customers. Happy to get in a promo for Priscilla.
Oh, there's another cutie.
Some of our spectators here.
You know, David, it's just a beautiful day to have a parade. I keep looking outside.
We are extremely fortunate. I think the weatherman is calling for some showers by early evening, but I think we're going to be in very good shape today.
That's right.
It's not cold, and it's pretty comfortable standing along the sides of the streets. Last year it was miserable, and the crowd related that. There weren't that many folk here.
Right.
This is Richmond County Even Start Family Literacy Project. It's a family affair.
That's the quote.
I was talking with a gentleman a little earlier before we started the show today, and he said he loved books, but he'd never learned to read. And if you're an adult in this community, or for that matter, anyone who wants to learn to read, Richmond Community College's adult literacy program is always available. I suggest you give Barbara Condor a call at the college. The main number is 582-7000.
And there's their big float, if I'm not mistaken, the Even Start.
Right, this is sponsored by the R.W. Goodman Company and Centura Bank. We appreciate our corporate sponsors. The most critical things that are done in education occur when children are in that 3 to 6 year old age range. If you can get them started on the right note at that point, the rest of it's fairly easy. But if they miss those early learning opportunities, it can be a real struggle. This must be some folks from Purdue, one of the leading employers in Richmond County. The chicken mascot up on top of the cab. Good-looking truck.
And if you can look behind that big truck, the Purdue truck, you can see the big turkey back there behind the Purdue truck. I don't know if the camera can get a shot of that. I think he's turning around there and trying to get a shot of that. The big turkey
Oh, yeah.
Back behind the Purdue truck.
Oh, yeah, right up on our main camera now. Good work by our camera crew.
Yes, Time Warner Cable, they do a great job.
This next float is sponsored by Sara Lee Hosiery.
There are some more routines there coming from children there.
This must be the Legs Youth Football Champions. This float is
Pretty excited about the parade there.
well, now this crowd is the most animated we've seen yet, I think.
All smiles.
Nice young lady waving there at the camera.
Yeah, I like that Carolina blue. No offense to my state fans. Who may be looking.
Now, what about the Duke fans, David?
Well, thank goodness it's basketball season now.
Yes.
Things have got to get better. Of course, that Duke football team will improve. There are a lot of young people playing this year. Those are the Tiger Cubs, part of the Cub Scout program here in Richmond County.
Let's see what that is.
Joy to the world.
Had a little sign problem there, but
Yeah.
I think you read it correctly.
Yes.
I think that young lady was doing a little more chewing than she was doing throwing.
Southside Free Will Baptist Church here from Ellerby. There's Ricky Jacobs, the pastor there, right there waving to the folks.
That's Reverend Ricky. Ricky's a big supporter of the Richmond Raider football team.
Yes.
You'll always see him on the sidelines every Friday night.
Carrying the big flag.
He's
He
rather
trots-
inspirational.
He trots around that field and carries that big flag.
Ricky comes from a long line of big boys. Several of his brothers were outstanding athletes when I was coming through the public school system.
There's Brownie Troop 228 wishing everybody a Merry Christmas.
Would like to say thank you to Mary Ingram, who is a Girl Scout executive here in the county. She does an excellent job organizing all of these troops, and I know she depends heavily on the lay volunteers who serve as troop
right.
leaders.
Raider cheerleaders.
Yes,
I
here's the
see
Raider
See a
cheerleaders.
few familiar faces there.
I believe I see Shelley Walker.
Tiffany.
I tell you what, they supported the Raiders all through the playoff. You know, even though the Raiders didn't make it, the cheerleaders were there to cheer them on and keep their spirits up.
Well, I tell you what, for the next 4 or 5 years, with the athletes that I've seen at the various junior highs
That's
and
right.
in the youth programs, we're not going to have to worry too much about the Raiders. They'll be in the playoffs again, and perhaps we'll get another trip to Chapel Hill. At least I hope so.
I think this is the Miss Fayetteville District Church of God in Christ.
Oh yes, that's the pastor there is Elder T.C. Leak. I believe that's their queen, and there's Temple Church of God in Christ. He has 2 churches in the area. That's one of his other churches enjoying the festivities and being involved on today in the parade, involving themselves.
This looks like the Clydesdales from the Budweiser Corporation. Seago Beverage Company here in Richmond County is a sponsor.
Seago Distributing. Another colorful float there.
This float is sponsored by Seago Distributing, and they say to us, Happy Holidays. I tell you, some of these children are having about as much fun as they do on Halloween.
That's right. All the candy.
But many thanks to Seago Distributing. This is the Hamlet Lioness group. Do a lot of wonderful work along with the Lions Club here in Hamlet. This looks like a group from Richmond Community College, probably the Student Government Association.
That's right.
See my good friend Tim Harris riding shotgun there. There's Wanda Watts, member of our staff, some of our students, and some of their children. Looks like our boy Herb Smith behind the wheel.
A lot of programs offered there at the college, David.
Tremendous opportunities. Sometimes I think we're a secret to some, but there's a lot of opportunity. And once you reach the age of 18, there's tremendous potential. Electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, college transfer. Pembroke State, incidentally, is now offering a junior-senior baccalaureate program on our campus, and many of our programs are directly transferable.
Here's McKenzie Furniture Float and also the Richmond Savings Bank float.
Right, these cheerleaders, I think, are from Croson's Automotive, located between Hamlet and Rockingham, Larry and Kathy Croson. Right, McKenzie Furniture and Richmond Federal Savings Bank. This looks like the Hamlet Civic Council, driving that classic Continental.
And there's the horses.
You know, if we want to punish you, we make you march behind these guys.
That's true. When they talk about Hamlet City just down the road, you know, we've got a lot of open land that people keep horses on.
You know, actually, there are more horses existing in the United States today than there were during the 1850s when horses were the primary mode of transportation. It's an awful lot of recreational activity involving horses. That's right. There's some interesting tail decorations there on one.
There's a lot more colors there. Seasonal colors.
I'll tell you what, the people here are really moving around. They're getting excited. All the candy being thrown. And
this float's sponsored by Mabry's and Birmingham Drugs here in Hamlet, also by the Mothers Against Drunk Driving and Students Against Drunk Driving, the Mad Sad groups. This is I believe we hear some noise coming from the North Side Volunteer Fire Department truck. And here they are. Another one of our fine volunteer fire departments here in Richmond County. Oh, I believe I see something familiar coming up on our screen now.
And look at there.
That's the Hamlet Rotary Club float and the Ellerby Springs Inn, and there's our good friend, Santa Claus.
The man.
Looks like he's gained a little weight since last year.
You think so, David?
I think he's had a good summer.
Let's see all those cookies that he had last year and cookies and milk the kids put out for him.
Well, I hope he's conserving his energy because he's got a mighty big job ahead of him in a few weeks. There was Mary Helen Capps from the Ellerby Springs restaurant. She is a wonderful lady, has been active in our community theater through the years. Well, Santa Claus usually means the end of our parade.
Yes, David, it's been a wonderful parade. Lisa?
It has been great, I tell you.
The weather was great. The participation was great, and also the spectators.
You see the young lady behind Santa's sleigh? That's my parade co-chair, Miss Linda Sewell, who is exec with Fidelity Bank here in Hamlet. Linda does a tremendous job arranging for the floats every year.
Well, I'm telling you, David, y'all did a wonderful job this year. Great participation.
And as I said in the beginning, there is certainly an air of Christmas cheer here today.
Well, I do want to take this opportunity on behalf of the Hamlet Rotary Club to say thank you not only to Time Warner Cable and their production staff, but also to the many organizations who help make this parade a resounding success each year. We do appreciate it. We look forward to seeing all of you again next year. And Lisa, it's been a pleasure. Corey?
Yes.
It's been great.
Hands looked down where he lay, the little Lord Jesus asleep.